These are sights and sounds that characterize Chirangila village deep in Mukono district, 26 kilometers from Kampala city in Uganda. Young men and women engage in their week-long practice ahead of Sunday's soft ground wrestling event. From the exercises being conducted, one can easily tell that this is not an easy sport. It is unique. Come Sunday, those who are fit participate in the weekly wrestling matches in the mud known as the Boombash Live Show. 36-year-old Daniel Boomba alias Boombash is the founder, proprietor and the chief executive officer of the soft ground wrestling since its inception in 2023.
I started doing shows for people to come and see me translating wrestling. So people used to turn up in good numbers. For example, at Club Obligato and Theatre La Bonita, they could come and watch me translate the WWE. Then I said, now, if people can come in these numbers, I have to start training some Ugandans to start this sport.
He says selling the idea and getting recruits was not a walk in the park. The concept was not only alien, but crazy. He began with only 7 participants.
I called them the first 7 children that came here in 2023 to train them. So I started training them, but without a ring, I decided to get bamboo. You can see them there, the bamboo, and then the nylon ropes to make an artificial ring. But unlike the professional ring that has the canvas and boards, I decided to come up with this one. You're seeing, I put water and make a canvas very good for landing. Yeah, and I realized that soft mud doesn't have effect on the backbone and the head. Those no spinal injuries. So I started training them. Little did I know that. I didn't know that this sport would even go viral. But I uploaded a video, my first video on X and Facebook plus Instagram, and it got 100 million views.
Before the contest, the ground ring, which is made of bamboo poles and nylon ropes, is redug and water is poured to make it muddy and soft. This lasts for just a few minutes before it hardens. On this day, one of the matches was between Pastor and Bro Tony. After about 10 minutes of heavy body clashing and thudding falls, the pastor was defeated. A volunteer medic had to check on him.
It wasn't easy. The match wasn't easy. But according to the training that I've passed through, I managed to get a win.
One, execute!
Training sessions are intense. Running every day from 7 a.m. to midday, Monday to Saturday. Boomba himself is the trainer.
Stand. These are not push-ups. Your bum bum is up.
Both the training sessions and the match days clearly show that this is a dangerous affair. On this day, Kabugo Abubakar was not participating, having been injured during the training. He fell, landing awkwardly and breaking his collarbone. Also injured was Lamunu Evelyn, who is among several young women in the mix, punching and wrestling alongside the young men.
First of all, you have to go through proper training and know how to bumps, because bumps are very important in the ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten any injuries? If yes, what kind of injury have you suffered?
I have gotten arm, because right now I still have an injury in my arm.
This sport is very, very dangerous. However, if you train it, it becomes okay. You start fighting. If you train it, it becomes okay, because the first fundamental principle of professional wrestling is learning how to land by your back. The sport is so riskful. That's why when I'm calling on these students, the ones who come here to train, I tell them you don't have to have had a surgery before. You don't need to have HIV on you. You don't need to have ulcers. You need to be healthy. There is a preliminary training we do to determine the cardiovascular condition of someone. So cardio is okay. They run 60 kilometers through the sugar plantation. So they run 60 kilometers, they take dunks. So literally, if you're sick, there is a red flag that will show somewhere.
Since they are aiming to match the best in the industry, here in Chirangila, they are also having their own version of a locker room where they fine-tune themselves as they prepare to step into the ring and rumble. The sport has continued to gain attention worldwide ever since NTV Uganda first aired the report on the introduction of the game and its improvised ring. In addition to attracting international media, which regularly visits the village, the news caught the attention of some American professional wrestlers like Mansour Abdulaziz and Mason Maiden of the MXM group, who traveled to Mukono to witness it for themselves. The duo entered the ring to try it for themselves and quickly observed that it was a risky venture.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the ground is soft, but wherever you wrestle, it's always going to hurt. This is a brand new style of wrestling. I mean, you look at the ring they made with their passion, their blood, their sweat, their tears.
The two, who arrived in Uganda at about 10 a.m. and left at 3 p.m., opted to give some quick training or crash course to the amateur wrestlers, at least to mitigate the risks, giving them much needed tips.
Run, sidewalk.
Oh, this way, this way.
I will jump, leg drop.
They showcased how their bodies are key in tantalizing the game, revealing how dramatizing the sport is another aspect that is usually employed. Then the camera tricks that also spice things up.
Whenever you have someone in a move, where's the camera? Aha! And then you go.
And in order to minimize injury risks, the actions in the ring are usually prearranged and calculated. These moves are executed in a clinical way that ensures the audience never doubts the wrestler's actions. There is again the professional way of making a chaotic but not harmful slap, in comparison to what soft ground wrestlers do. Then it was time to put into practice the quick lessons learned, amateurs versus the pros.
You guys are amazing. The world can see that. You've made the world set on fire with your passion, your athleticism, your ability. Nobody expected that of you, and you guys proved them wrong every step of the way.
And one day the tree of professional wrestling will be sprouted from this soil right here in Mukono.
In the soft ground.
Tower over the sky.
The Americans challenging the Ugandans to jealously guard the unique identity of their game.
Professional wrestling does not exist here in Uganda. It doesn't exist here in Africa, really. So you look in the world, you know American style wrestling, you know lucha libre style wrestling, strong style Japanese style wrestling. Right here is where African style can be born. And that's on you. That's your decision to make.
The most important thing for them to understand is character, because so much of professional wrestling is being over the top and having a character and telling a story. These guys are all in amazing shape. These guys and girls look fantastic. They have stamina and strength. Now time to figure out the personality, the storytelling of wrestling so that people can watch and be entertained.
Upon learning about the soft ground wrestling, America's undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes, alias the American Nightmare, donated a ring to the group, which he shipped to Kampala as his contribution in support and for the love of the game.
Today when I talked to him about my challenges, number one was the wrestling ring. He said, that is deal done. I will ship it for you. Because many people in Uganda will ask for money, but I asked for a ring, just as I'm asking for somebody to help donate us money to Baba, to donate us the land. Okay. So Mr. Cody Rhodes inspires me so much. He was inspired by his father, Dustin Rhodes. So and he also says that if at all talent is okay, he will pull it over to his academy in the time to come.
Before the matches, popularly referred as the Boom Bash live show, every Sunday at 2 p.m., the participants have an early lunch. Currently, there are only 2 titles, the tag team and heavyweight titles for the men, which were donated by Cody Rhodes.
Ladies and gentlemen, these superstars have been trading blows both inside and outside the ring. Let's see who will emerge victorious in the Falls Count Anywhere match.
The women, however, are yet to have their own titles. Some matches are also staged in the real ring. There are 2 sections, the common area and a VIP corner which is closer to the ring. So, what are the operational costs, we ask?
First and foremost, the costs of operation are very high because these people fall sick. We're in a bushy area. Malaria is like malaria. Secondly, renting for them those premises where they sleep is also a hurdle to me. Thirdly, the food. These people eat a lot of food. You find like 100 students can take 2 thighs of a cow here. They eat a lot. They eat 100 kilograms per day. 100 kilograms per day. But lucky enough, we devised means of getting some little money from the local community, as every Sunday we hold. So if anybody wants to come and watch them, he pays like $1, $1 US. They enter, they enjoy, so we buy food like that.
At the moment, there are 140 wrestlers. That includes 10 referees, timekeepers,
SGW Heavyweight Champion, the Hippopotamus,
8 ring announcers and security. To manage and keep in check such a big number, he says discipline is paramount and non-negotiable.
Very many people have been able to withdraw from the sport because of failure to complete training. Others because of the nature of how we live here. You find that there is a youth who comes and believes there is no future here. So he decides to leave. There are those who have been discouraged by parents that it's a dangerous sport, you'll die at the age of 40. Please come back home. So those are the challenges we've been facing. There are those who have run away from home and they said, you got a father, Boom Bash, don't come back here. If you believe he will be the core principle of your future. So the way I manage here, I do periodical parades every night, evening, and mid-morning. Every after a meal, I do a parade. Every after, before even going to bed, I do a parade. I separated the boys and the girls. The girls sleep alone and the boys sleep alone. Because, you know, these are youths I'm dealing with. And, you know, adolescence stage is very funny with them. So I'm also harsh in terms of discipline. Yeah, no stealing here. Bad languages are prohibited. Violence.
How many have you expelled?
I've expelled like 25. They're here permanently, training kabisa. They don't go to school. Those that come with some little English, I am okay with that. Because the scripts they have, sometimes they're in English to appease the whole world. Some of them are orphans and some are half orphans. My dream is to have export of professional wrestlers from Uganda. We as Africans have been lagging behind in professional wrestling. Unlike I hear about Senegalese wrestling, Ghanaian wrestling, South African wrestling, Nigerian, Uganda has modestly come up with soft ground wrestling. And if you're to go about wrestling Africa, we dominate the go-go cage, such cake. So my zeal or goal is to export one like this, 5,000 local people to come here and watch soft ground wrestling. It means, given the fund or the funding, good funding, I will be able to take it to the next level. Number two, Saudi Arabia is one good market for wrestling. Saudi Arabians are hosting WWE for $100 million per show.
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel. And even they are planning to put their WrestleMania. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia offers $100 million for just holding wrestling in his country. Perhaps Zambians will call me, or Kenyans, one day. I also go there and take their wrestling. So that motivates me. If these people can fly country to country, spreading the word of professional wrestling. These youths, instead of being on the streets, instead of engaging in burglary, instead of snatching people's phones, I'm keeping them here to train. Monday to Sunday, they eat, and for here they don't cohabit. It is prohibited. They are being built as sportsmen. But I had some challenges some time back when the local authorities came here and thought I was training foot soldiers because we are heading to elections. So I was grounded for 3 hours there by security operatives. Whether I've ever trained them muchaka. So they were lined here, they seated here, and they were asked, have you ever held a muyini? Have you ever sung revolutionary songs? It's no. And they ascertained that this man is chasing a dream. But otherwise, they grounded me there, asking me funny questions I don't understand. I even cried. Because if you tell me that, if you ask a boy who has been training wrestling whether he has ever held a gun, at a point I even wanted to give up. But then they told me, you know what? Have you registered your sport? I showed them everything. And they asked me a very funny question. Bumbash, when these boys come from here, now, can't they go to the community and steal? And because we had a challenge of people in towns kicking people on the head and taking. So they said, what if they are the boys? I said, no. I took them to the office. I removed every file. And they could see that whoever is with me, either a guardian has presented a copy of a national ID, LC1 letter, a medical form, and there is a consent form for a guardian to allow them to come and engage in this sport. So that was a major challenge for me, but still now we are able to pass through.
What is Mchaka Mchaka?
Mchaka Mchaka is done by army people. The army people is like military training.
One, execute!
With no professional wrestling existing in Africa, it is here in Mkono district of Uganda where amateur wrestlers, young men and women, are hoping to make that history that one day. Duncan Haemba, NTV in Mkono, Uganda.